everybody. Everybody out there in podcast land. This is G-Man. We are in the Slave Ventures studio now instead of the Matterhorn studios. That's a story in itself. Everything is good. And for the first time, everybody, I don't have my co-host, Cal. It's the first time. She's got some other obligations, but the show must go on. But we do have in the studio a superstar guest named Shirley Larkins.
Hello.
Yes. So Miss Shirley Larkins, she is here because in episode 56 today, we're going to be doing What's the Matter with Girl Power. And so, kind of like a little tagline I came up with, so from permission to power. From permission to power. That's going to be our theme today. So a little quick note here, girl power. It's not just this cute phrase. It's a long arc of women moving from this restricted role that they used to have, still have kind of sometime today in certain situations, limited platforms, permission-based influence, and now they're into leadership, ownership, visibility, economic power, a personal voice, and a cultural force. So today we're going to explore how women's power has evolved from suffrage to feminism to today's platforms and what power looks like in real life, which kind of like I experienced a little bit as she was getting ready to come into the room today. Motherhood combined with business, marriage, music, confidence, grit, and leadership. So in this first block, talking about girl power, where it comes from and what it means now. Because it used to, Shirley used to be kind of, and maybe even still, it's kind of like the slogan, right? Girl power. And so, but now it looks like, again, a woman running the business, raising the kids, closing the deal, picking the playlist on the road trip. Still, you guys are amazing. You're still able to remember everybody's birthday.
Isn't that great? I know we have special talents as women. It's all just there.
All that stuff. Well, not everybody's created the same.
That's very true.
You see what I'm saying? I mean, it's like anything. You got some good ones and some bad ones.
You do.
But, for the most part, if you're able to surround yourself with good ones, you ladies are pretty amazing. So a quick sponsor tag now. We now are sponsored by, how should I say this? Slave Ventures Studios, Bazaz, and of course, Big Bongo Productions, the creator and producer of the show. So we always want to get that out. So I want to introduce Shirley, real quick. So this, of course, it's not the person that she is, but it's something that she does. And she's a Reno area real estate broker. Are you a broker?
I'm a broker. I own my own brokerage.
So when I first met you, you weren't a broker yet.
I was not. I was just a real estate sales professional.
What do you mean just?
Right. Thank you, G-Man. That was a good point.
But she's very professional. We met through our brother, Oliver X.
Love Oliver.
And the first time we met each other was in the radio station.
It was at the radio station.
Yeah.
I remember it vividly.
She is also a wife and a mom of two. I put two preteens.
Two preteens?
Yes,
well, 13 and a half and 11. So we're in teen territory now.
Yeah.
She, my girl, it's vibing.
She's
vibing in the teen world for sure.
And you and her, as we found out in the 4th of July parade, she's a music lover.
Yes, she's an incredible singer.
She killed it.
She's amazing.
I loved how, you remember in the moment, you put a little challenge for her to do a cappella.
I do.
And she just jumped on it.
Owned it.
She's like, oh yeah.
She's a real singer.
That was impressive.
Thank you.
That was super impressive.
I couldn't be more proud of her.
So Shirley Larkins, a local powerhouse with real world experience balancing ambition, family, relationships, business, and her own personal identity.
Truth.
If you guys would love her. I haven't found anything else bad about you. Yeah, I have to talk to your husband.
He's sworn to secrecy or else.
So Shirley, when you hear the phrase girl power, do you love it? Or do you roll your eyes at it? Or maybe both?
Well, it's a mix. I'm glad that you said that at the end there, because I think in the past, girl power was something that was like to raise our energy and own who we are. Like, it's good to have power. You're a woman, stand on it, right? Well, we've been doing that for a while now. And so for me, when I hear girl power, I'm almost like, well, I'm already stepped into that. So how does that lift me up more?
Right.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Because you can't just claim to have girl power. You got to show it.
Well, and like, what does girl power mean to you, right? Like, girl power could be a bunch of friends hanging out, getting amped, going to the concert. In
Right.
girl power, right? Let's
Yeah.
go. Let's be hot. Let's get
Yeah.
to the show. Let's have the best night of our lives.
Yeah.
Or girl power could be like, I'm going on a job interview and I'm going to step into my most professional self as a woman and show my power in this role. That's one too, right? Something
Mhm.
different than like the hype. The thing when I hear girl power is it feels like a hype game. It doesn't feel like professional, if that makes sense. Like that
Mhm.
when I think about girl power in business, that doesn't feel strong to me.
It'd
It'd be more like women empowerment, maybe.
Yes, that's what I was going to
Sounds
say.
better because it's like something more,
Kind of a woman collective,
something
where
like
you guys
that.
are supporting each other in small business.
Yeah.
Or
It's hard
or
because I'm
something.
all about like I'm a woman owned business. I do that. Right. And I want to lift up other women in business. But I feel like sometimes it can be exclusionary when
How
you're
so?
just saying women power, all women, well, there's a lot of people working hard.
because there's another gender, you mean?
Yeah. And it's hard because I've been in business a long time, right? And when I
Yes.
started, I was young too. So I had that against me. I was a young girl, basically, with the way people would see me
Right.
in a professional realm that was a lot of women in the industry, but men mostly doing most of the business at the
Yeah.
time when I started in real estate. So I would meet people and I'd first have to overcome the barrier of, oh, she's just a little girl. And then
you're so young.
right. And then prove that I
Inexperienced,
actually
yeah.
know things.
Right.
Right. And then now it's the woman thing. So it's like, I've been doing this a long time. Why am I still thinking girl power? I've been in it.
Yeah.
I've been in
Well,
it.
and so what I want to do here is let's start the conversation with this little historical arc to it. I want to kind of like, what's that old saying? Before you know where you're going, you have to know where you've been,
Yes.
type of thing, right? So let's do that with
And we've come
with
a
women.
long way, right?
Yeah. Well, there's come a long way, baby.
Yeah.
That was that advertisement, right? We've come a long way,
Come
baby.
a long way, baby.
But I see this, of course, 10,000 years, like our traceable history outside of archaeological things. And so you see, women, or even I'm old enough to have observed that there was this really, really, a woman's world was based on getting permission. You couldn't do shit
Mm-hmm.
unless you got your husband's permission,
Right.
somebody's permission, right? So you're kind of like this proverbial second-class citizen,
Right.
type of thing. And then you get to the point to where, you're able to participate, like Joan of Arc,
Right.
that badass bitch.
But
was
under duress, because not everybody was okay with that participation still.
I don't think Joan of Arc
Right.
did it under duress.
Well, no.
I think she was just
Not-
badass, and then she took care of business.
She
right?
was, but over time,
Yes,
right? It's
over
like
time.
every step forward came with a price
For
in
sure,
a way,
for sure.
right?
Yeah. Well, and specifically, we'll talk about the suffrage movement.
Mm-hmm.
And things like that. And again, we'll tiptoe that line as far as keeping politics out of it, but
Sure.
just mostly from a historical perspective. And then, of course, so you started with having to have somebody's permission, and then you're allowed to participate. And now you're actually in positions of power,
Right.
where you guys can rock the Casbah.
Right.
There's positions of leadership now with a female, and great positions of power like never before in our history.
True.
So let's start with that. So the suffrage movement. Now, this was what in if I recall my history class, I used to be pretty good at this stuff, but I'm thinking around 1920,
In the
somewhere around there.
early 19s. Yes, I Yeah,
you
think you're right.
know, that's
Women's suffrage began.
because there was also the temperance movement was not too much before or after that, where they're going into bars.
Well,
and
it
they're
seemed
chasing the heathens out.
Yeah.
And what led to prohibition, which was in 33 or something like that.
Right
So,
around,
so
33.
those
36.
100 years ago. Sometimes we'll do episodes on history, and then we'll hop back 25, 50, 75, and 100 years on the exact date that we're doing the show
Oh, that's cool. Because look how far we've come.
and how it still applies.
Yeah,
So those
that's
are fun.
interesting.
We haven't done that in a while. But the suffrage movement, I can only imagine that it was probably what would you say was the outside of women wanting to have the right to vote, and then especially looking back, was that the best thing
It's so hard to say.
Because here's how I ask this. I would say, would you agree that between the two genders, in a general sense, that not that you guys aren't logical, but you may have a tendency to have a little bit more emotion into your decision making, right?
I think I have to agree because we aren't made exactly the same.
Exactly.
It's obvious in so many ways,
right?
Like our thought patterns, our physiology, a lot of things.
Yeah.
So, yes.
But sometimes, again, that's where, like, when you really work together, it's such a great team between the two of us, because you guys really have the permission to tell us about our blind spots.
Right.
Or you should.
Well, it's almost like the yin yang, right?
Yeah.
Like we balance each other out in thought processes and emotional things. And, maybe I'm more emotional about something, but you're not feeling the vibe of it because it's not hitting you the same.
Yeah.
That's in our makeup.
Right.
We don't know where that comes from.
But what's interesting about that, back to the suffrage movement, is that at the end of the day, the only people that were voting for this to happen were men.
Right. That's true. That's funny.
And so I think that, especially say over the last 20, 30 years, with all the, the stuff pointed out about toxic masculinity, there's a lot of men, that feel discarded, in a way.
Which is funny because we like to put a lot of labels on things.
I hate labels
lately,
too.
right?
But yeah,
and like,
but
how
they're
do you
all over the place?
How do you relabel emotions? Because everybody feels them different. So I don't know. It's such a hard fine line, right? Like,
well, I think too. I was thinking about this, and here's where, if I was alive in 1920, where it would make sense, right? So let's say I'm the only person in the household that gets to vote. Do you think that the wife didn't chime in on what she thought was as far as a candidate and stuff like that?
Well, maybe not, because maybe she wasn't even privy to the information about who the choices were or what was available, or,
no,
it was a different
That
time.
doesn't make sense, because then if that were the case, then the suffrage movement would have never succeeded.
Well, that's
So
why they started it, right? To get involved, to get the information, to have the voice, to be a part of the process.
Right.
Prior to that, there was no involvement.
Right.
There was no woman going to the congressional meeting or something. I mean, none of that happened. So to get in, there had to be a start. And to get in, maybe was at the home, like, hey, husband.
That's my point.
What do you keep going to the city hall for and hearing about? I want to know about it. And then why can't I go? And then wait a minute. I want to know about that candidate. I want to know about what we're even talking about.
I guess what I'm saying is that I think the suffrage movement probably started in the home.
I think it did too. And part of it, time and place and everything, but with prohibition going on, I mean, there was a lot of people who were not doing what they normally did, or working the minimum to be able to go get the bottle, or, something like that. It was a real thing. And so as the providers, or the men who were supposed to be playing the role, making the decisions, making things go, were maybe not doing such a great job, the women were like, wait a minute, I got to fix my home life here. This isn't working out. So how do I do that? I need to know what's going on in the world.
Right.
And then it was like, wait, we should be able to be involved in these decisions.
Yeah. Well, and at the end of the day, like I said, the passage of it indicates that the men, they got it.
We're helpmates, right? We're helpmates of each other. And there was enough that could see the reason of wait, there's all these other voices, especially those who are savvy of hey, we need the votes.
Right.
Why wouldn't we let them participate?
Yeah, it's interesting.
It is. There's so many levels to it, right?
Stuff.
Oh my gosh. It goes way beyond girl power, I think, but it's a really cool start.
Absolutely. So now let's hop forward to now the 60s. Now I was born in 63 and just turned 63. So I, 5 years old, when the civil rights movement was going on. And I was, I think, about 7 or 8 years old when I heard the N-word for the first time. Wow. And the response from my friend, and it hurt him. It was hurtful.
You'll never forget.
Oh, I'm getting chills right now just talking about it.
Me too.
And so, so during that time right there, then I was able to see, again, 10 years old or whatever, and see the commercial, I can bring home the bacon fried up in the pan. And then never let you forget that you're a man, was the basic And that, like,
Yeah.
how freaking from an advertising standpoint and an empowerment standpoint. Now, what's interesting is that there are theories, and I'm kind of compelled to believe it, that when it comes to our, again, I got to watch myself here, because when it comes to our government, this is no secret. They can't always be trusted, right? And the theory goes that the people in the financial system, we're saying half our population of potential workers
they're not paying taxes.
They're not working. They're not paying taxes. And so the whole feminist movement, they, under the guise of you deserve better, you're just as good as the men, that you work for and stuff like that. It was that Trojan horse, that came in, where now studies show that if money were not a concern, 80% of women would stay at home.
And I would say I could see that, because as a mother, like it was in me when I became pregnant, something catalyzed, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be a mom now. And like, I want to take care of this baby. I want to do all these things. And I never felt anything like that. Kind of like before your nesting impulses. Oh yeah. Right? I mean, big time. And it was like, I need my house to be like this. I need that, and so I think that you have a really good point about why it all began and the machine that we're in, right? Because it's hard to deny that. Right. And also just like the changing of the dynamic of the social structure that came with that. So like, prior to women going to work, there weren't like a lot of different roles, for instance, okay? Like daycare people, whatever, other people watching your kids. Right. The woman leaving the home, maybe now there's like conflict between the family. So more broken households, more things changing. Women, as they became more empowered, also seeing that they can stand on their own 2 feet. Right. Maybe not putting up with, or whatever, you want to, whatever you plug in there of like, I'm not going to do this anymore. The divorce rate, increased. We used to be fixers, like with everything. Oh yeah. Like we would fix something. No, now we don't. We just throw it away and get a new one. Everything's so it's crazy, disposable, including relationships, right? It's incredible how people forget the network that we live in and all the people that we know and the ripples that it makes. Yeah. Kel and I talk about relationships a lot because they're not easy. It doesn't matter who it is. We're not talking about just a spouse, but your friend, your coworker, anybody. It's, we are a peculiar species, fascinating to say the least. But so the feminist movement happened for better, for worse. You could argue. Well, and it changed a lot in commerce and in the operations of everything too in our country, right? Yes. I mean, there's so much that happened just from that, besides just voting and. I know. I can't keep my wife off Amazon. I won't stay off of there either. Get that endorphin rush. Now, speaking of the dopamine, I should say. So let's contrast now. So you go to the suffrage movement, right? So we can vote now. Cool. Yay. And you guys had power, you had voice and everything. And you had to actually, from a legislative standpoint, they had to listen to what women were saying and what was important to them and things, right? And the feminist movement, that really ratcheted up. Now you're talking about not the disintegration, but definitely affected the nuclear family. For sure. Which bleeds over, in everything to crime. And now we're talking about how different the kids are, the younger people are nowadays, stuff, and the challenges that they have. So this leads us to this conversation here with the current platforms. Okay, social media, entrepreneurship, solopreneurship, the education system. Again, statistically, we did this, I think 3 episodes ago or something like that, where we went over statistics that globally, not just domestically, but globally, they're still smart, but their proficiency is just continuing to torpedo down. And so, but current platforms, social media, branding, we talked about influencers, you're in real estate, podcasting, community leadership. There's all these platforms that now women, girls have access to. That. So one of the questions that I had is right here. With all of these platforms, definitely comes more opportunity, but also I think more conversation, right? Like I must have it later. So here's a question. I'll just ask it right now. Okay. So when you were a teen, because you have some preteens right now, as we talked about. So when you were a teen,
what was your platform
Oh my gosh.
to get the Shirley Larkins brand out there? What did you do?
Hand make flyers and pass them out to friends.
Yeah.
I literally.
Like for parties?
Oh yeah. Or like, yeah, for anything like that. Pick up the old telephone and actually dial people and call them.
You're not
Get the
that
phone
old.
book out. Yeah, I am. It's crazy. I had a party line. I didn't have,
That is cool.
yeah. So just old school tactics,
Yeah.
for real. That's all we had at that point in time. I got my first computer when I was 14 and I had the dial up AOL.
Yeah.
And that's when I first learned about like chat rooms and stuff, right? Like right at the beginning of,
Right.
I had a Dell. That tells you
right,
when it
huh?
was.
Yeah.
And I just remember, this is incredible. I am talking to somebody in Minnesota right now. Like, cause I didn't know anybody who
Right.
lived there. So how would I ever talk to somebody from there? I
That
didn't have
is
their
pretty-
phone
that
number.
is
That's
pretty
how we all
awesome.
talked before. Right. So
Yeah.
it really opened up my eyes to like, wow, this internet thing is going to be something, because it's very cool. But I totally didn't understand any of it.
Yeah. And you had no idea what it was going to turn into for sure.
No.
So a quick note here. So the 19th Amendment was passed by Congress in 1919. This is the suffrage movement, and ratified in 1920. So I was
Okay.
pretty
So you were
close.
pretty close.
Right
Yeah. Good job.
Guaranteeing women the right to vote. And so women went from asking permission to nowadays they're building platforms.
Yeah.
That is,
It's awesome.
crazy. So you don't need permission any longer in this current business model.
No.
So let's have a little fun to define girl power. So possible definitions of what girl power means. First of all, wouldn't you agree that it means that you have the power to choose?
Yeah.
For sure.
Absolutely.
You have the power to lead
Mhm.
like never before.
Yeah.
You have the power to earn,
True.
as we just got through talking about. You have the power to say no.
That is true. That's a big one.
Another chill.
Yeah,
Right there, another
me
chill.
too. Me too.
Yeah.
I took a pause there.
Yeah. You have the power to nurture without being reduced to merely nurturing.
Right.
Like it's kind of
Like that's your
built-in
no, that's kind of
choice.
beautiful. That's kind of
Yeah.
a beautiful statement, Grady.
Yeah, because it's like sometimes people they don't deserve nurturing.
One, also people feel like if that's your job, like you're the nurturer and that's all you
Yeah.
do, like that's not enough.
Yeah,
Who,
exactly.
like, are you kidding? That was a seed that was implanted too. Like if you want to be a mom who just wants to be a mom, right? If you
Mhm.
want to be a dad who just wants to be a dad and stay home with your kids,
Mhm,
that's pretty commendable
mhm.
and epic. That's the hardest job that we all have.
It
Anybody
is.
who's had a child can say that. It's the hardest, coolest thing ever. And to make the choice to like do that 100% of the time, I think is very commendable. I did 1 year of homeschool during COVID, and it really opened my eyes a lot, even as like a businesswoman and a mom. And I did so many things. And, I had a nanny before COVID because I was a super extreme worker. And, I've just been a business lady and then also a mom. But it changed a little bit when it was like, now I'm doing it all the time, 24 hours a day. Right. And it was like, gosh, when I reflected about it, I would love to do that. But then I have this other driver thing in me, right? Is that from society, that business driver? Because I do love doing the mom thing only, but I just can't only do that or something. It's like this shift. And then going through that process of literally a whole year of just being there and doing it and nothing changing, it didn't really shift anything in me other than I realized I need to take back my time to be a mom. And I can
Yes.
still do the business thing, but it's empowering to know that being the nurturer is enough. Do you know what I mean? Like I
Absolutely.
never really got that before
Yeah.
until I was doing it. And it's
Right.
like, whoa, this is cool. I wish I didn't have to go back to work. I never thought I would ever think that in my life. I'm a worker bee. You
Right.
know?
Yeah. for
So
sure.
it was interesting. It's like a lot of reflection happened in those moments. You know?
Oh, and it's now in the teen years. I can tell you, I went through 4 of them, and it's a whole different dynamic, and it makes a lot of sense with what somebody said that in a funny way that our kids as teenagers basically pay us back to what we did to our parents when we were growing up.
I'm glad I was such a good girl.
So, but it was like I had two things. Like I think first to the kids that we were talking about that have the challenges today.
Yep.
They are the children of parents who didn't get spankings.
Yeah, they had no challenges.
They had no like the cause and effect thing that we, of course, the boomers and the Gen X we learned it was kind of like the last frontier, about that your behavior has consequences.
And that's interesting, right? That kind of goes away at a certain time. Because I feel like that's something really missing a lot in a lot of things. It's sort of like that moral measure, like what is right, what is good, what am I supposed to do, or how come I have that driver, but some people don't now? I wonder that.
Well, and again, I think there's so much has to do. It's like almost anybody can have a child, but that doesn't mean, so they can be a mom or dad, but that doesn't mean they're going to be a good parent.
Correct.
And so a lot goes into it, and we're not really taught. It's kind of like you wing it.
Yeah,
most people wing
I'm
it.
100% winging it daily.
They raise their kids the way they were raised. Make a few alterations and stuff.
Right.
And I know that I did. I used to sometimes I would deserve it, under the rules, get a spanking, but it was like snap. There was no processing. These are the rules. Just like boom, go get the belt.
Yeah.
Go get the switch.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Whereas when I spanked my kids, like my youngest daughter, she never got a spanking her whole life. And you could tell.
Yeah.
We love her, but she's a little spoiled. And then my oldest daughter, I think she got like a couple. Because you just don't.
My kids too, when they were really tiny.
Differently. But the boys, they were fair game. So I established 3 strikes.
Why do you deal with them differently?
I think they need to be handled differently.
I like that you say that naturally, because I agree.
They just do.
There's different feelings involved, like what we were talking about earlier as well.
Like, for example, let's say your son, he's 8 years old and, he just does or says something knucklehead, and you and his brother are walking, and he's just like, bam, just back him upside. He's, you knucklehead, you know better to do that. And he's just like, there's just like a little tension grabber.
Right.
It's kind of like Caesar Milano with the dog.
Yes.
When you're training the dog and you just poke it a little bit when he's doing something, that's really all you're doing. But if you tap your daughter in the back of the head, you're a dick.
Oh yeah, I'm so offended. Don't touch my head. First of all, don't tap me in the head. My family would
as adults
squeeze my hand. They'd be like, "Stop talking, please stop talking."
But no, you do. It's like, and again, it makes sense to me. Like you raise them with the same values and morals, but the behavioral things, you just,
Well, it comes back to that emotional thing, right? Like you were saying.
Like I was taught, you don't never hit a girl ever, ever. Like it defines you as a man, as a person.
I think that should still stand.
Yeah. Now, like, it's too funny. Like, so you can't make this stuff up. So Facebook, and this is how we do. So you're on the show for the first time. We'll riff on stuff like this for a while. So it's been a couple of years ago. But I grew up in Central. So one of my friends, Belinda Torres. So 5th grade, right? So I go through kindergarten through 4th grade, and then 5th grade, one lame duck year before junior high school. Everybody wanted to fight me. Everybody wanted to fight me in my 5th grade year.
That's awful.
Right? No, I got into some like epic ones.
Wow.
There was like, anyway, I don't want to go down that path. I'm changed, man.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
But Belinda Torres. So she challenged me to a fight in 5th grade. And I ran.
Well, you don't want to hit her, huh?
And she got in touch with me. It's just like, hey, Grady, this is Belinda. I'm like, is this the Belinda Torres that tried to beat me up in 5th grade? She gives me the hand over the face.
That's
emoji.
Too funny.
Yeah. So great family, except they're Dodger fans.
Oh no, I'm not a Dodgers fan either. Go Giants.
So let's get back on track here. This happens sometimes, Shirley.
Yeah, well, we're having fun. We're talking about cool stuff.
That's what it's all about. So under the defining, because with Kel, I always have the definition of what it is that we're talking specifically. So the power to choose, lead, earn, say no, the nurture without being reduced to nurturing only, right? So this power to be feminine.
Take ownership.
Right? Fierce.
Mm-hmm.
You guys sometimes can be funny.
It's only sometimes.
Definitely ambitious.
Yep.
But also soft, strategic, loud when appropriate, or quiet when appropriate.
Right.
All of it. Yes, kind of depending on the day, right?
Totally.
So what is kind of a simple question here? But what does power look like when it's healthy?
Gosh,
you?
is that a simple question?
Well, I
That's
mean,
kind of a big question.
it's
What
a
does
big one.
power look like? What kind of power?
That's my job.
Girl power only or
Yeah,
power in life?
We're talking about girl power. So what does girl power look like when it's healthy?
Well, you know, women are
'Cause you girls-
funny because
Are you talking about that movie Mean Girls?
yeah, basically. We, you know, maybe this is like in our DNA from all these eras of having to fight and scrap to like be with
Yeah.
everybody else, right?
Yeah,
But
you
it's
know the
like,
history.
yeah, there's a tendency to tear each other down. And I know that there's been a shifting of the tides in the last couple of years as the girl power movement keeps growing and keeps getting bigger and the platforms grow too. We're realizing it's okay to lift up other women trying to do what we're doing.
Do you think this just came to my head? No pun intended. Do you think it's because you guys are competing for our seed?
Maybe.
You know what I mean? It's
I
like
think
a
it's just that. I think it's just the
biological-
competition of life, and it's
That's what I'm
like
saying.
trying
It's like
to
this
be.
biological built-in. You're not even conscious about it,
That's interesting
right? Because
Yeah.
I asked somebody
because it's true. Like, what are we? This is like what I was telling you. What is this like driver thing that
Uh-huh.
I have that even I don't know? It's like I'm doing all these things. I have an extremely successful business. I'm loving my life. Everything's great. I still got to keep going. Why? I'm proving it to me. It's not even about proof.
just
It's more
driven
about just like
ambition.
doing and seeing how far can we go? How much can we handle? How much, you know, like
Yeah,
how big can it be?
yeah.
How many people can I actually talk to? How many homes can I really sell? How many families can I change? Like, you know, that's like, I'm constantly thinking that way.
So is that healthy?
I don't know.
Mhm.
Some people would say I'm crazy because my schedule is slammed and I'm a yes girl, right? So
Mhm.
do I overbook? Sometimes, not usually. I really live by the calendar for a reason because I've got that thing blocked out. I mean, like
Yeah.
I am doing all day long.
Oh, you're doing it right now.
And it's
Just the
the
age-
time that I can handle it and I
Yeah.
can do it. And so what I've always felt is like, while I've got the hustle in me, I'm going to hustle.
That's
like,
exactly right.
It's exciting. It's fun. I love it. I love doing things. I love seeing people. And it's kind of cool too, to be like, yeah, you know, I am a woman doing a great job owning a business that's successful. I'm making a change in our community.
Right.
Like these are all really awesome things. Before this podcast though, I never really thought about it from the perspective of like girl power. Except when I reflected back to the beginning of my career, like I was telling you, where it was like I did feel like I had to fight for some kind of like,
kind of like a battle cry.
yeah, like I'm a real person doing a real job. Please understand that. And then like listen and you'll know that I know what I'm talking about.
Right.
Like just
Yeah. Give me a
just
chance.
give me the shoe in the door, you know,
Give me a shot.
kind of thing. But now it's totally different, right? It's like
Oh, yeah.
I've been doing it a long time. I'm
Yeah.
totally confident, comfortable in what I do and all of that stuff. And I don't look like a baby anymore. Dang it. It's fine. Age is cool, I guess. I'm getting with it.
Finally belong.
Yeah, I don't know. But you know, it's like when I think about if I was going to train up a new girl, right, to do what I'm doing, I would just want to say like, you gotta just know who you are and be confident in that. No matter what the rest of it is, you can learn it, you can figure it out, you can take the class, you know, whatever the case may be. You can get a coach. There's always going to be a way, but if you don't know what you're doing or who you are, then your foundation is already not solid. So like for me, girl power begins inside.
So are you talking about an authenticity? I mean, it's an overused
yeah,
word,
I think
right? But
maybe not
but
even just
it's-
like, oh, I'm living my authentic self. It's like, I don't even have to say that. I am doing it.
that's what I'm saying.
Like, and I'm
It's-
constantly working on it. And like my mental,
It's kind of like casting aside all fear. Like I heard this
Completely
thing,
owning
like
it.
you want people to like you. We all want people to like us, but there's a difference between wanting someone to like you and needing them to like you.
correct.
Right? You don't need anybody to like you. You want to be your authentic self, as long as again your moral compass is there, your values are set, you're doing good,
Totally.
you know, by people. Be yourself.
Well, and something else that actually Oliver X told me before is, you know, once you have haters, that means you're really doing something.
Yeah.
So like not everybody's going to like you when you're actually doing what you're supposed to do. I think.
I still don't like it though.
You know what I mean? Like,
don't like
well, no,
haters.
because, you
I
know,
don't like haters.
I don't either.
Like, you want to be positive.
Well,
Or
that's
just don't
because
say anything. Like,
we're
that old
we're
thing.
those people though, Grady. Like
Yeah.
I feel like we've always connected in that way. Like we are both like uplifting, care about people, positive. Like I work on my mental so that I present in a positive light, and I'm constantly thinking that way. Like I don't like to go to the other side because I like to vibe high, and I know that like the things that will come to me will be what I really want if I'm doing that, and I practice it like daily. And so for somebody who is questioning maybe like, am I good enough to do this, or can I make a business, or do I have a voice that should be heard? Well, you're already starting out incorrectly, right? Yes, you do. You're here on the planet. This is the experience. It's totally awesome. For some reason, you were blessed to be here. So like, you do what you're feeling and then like own that and be okay. If only 3 people listen to this podcast today, I'm not going to be heartbroken, right? We touched 3. That's awesome.
It's 2.
You and me? No. No, but you know what I mean? Like, I'm not, you can't really like worry about the outside too much. And I think like, part of like the hearing the girl power and feeling a little inauthenticity in that, like not authentic, is because of all the hype, right? Like I am hyped already. I don't have to hype it up.
Yes.
Like I live in that space. So I'm doing it. I don't need to shout it from the rafters. I've got girl power. I'm a woman-owned business.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like I've embodied it now or something. And so like, if I could tell other people something, other women, you know, just do you. Like literally, do you figure out what you are, who you are, how you operate, what really makes you happy. And then like do that and figure out a way, because there's always a way to like show other people that.
Right. You are going to be so happy because at the end of each show, we have everything that we talked about and we provide people with this little toolbox.
Cool.
To go out into the world and deal with whatever that we're talking about. So,
I like this.
So we'll get that back there. Now, can you hear this?
Yes.
Okay. So that is always the precursor to a segment that we call Laughing Crickets.
Ooh.
And what this is there are times where sometimes the conversation subject matter can get kind of heavy. And so it's just something that we use to kind of break things up. Okay.
Cool.
So Laughing Cricket. So this was Kel's idea because I come up with jokes, kind of lighten the mood a little bit. And she said, so make sure that the jokes have something to do with the topic of the show.
Okay.
And so that's my challenge. So sometimes they're hits and sometimes they're misses. And that's where Laughing Crickets come in. Because sometimes if I bomb, there's crickets.
I get it.
Okay, so under the guise of girl power, this first little joke here, I'm thinking that it has to be probably somewhere rural. So I'm going to like do a little country slang, I guess a little bit. So, but these two women, girls, you know, they're on a girls' night out. Right? They're having a good time and been partying and stuff like that. So they're not drinking and driving. You know, they're close enough to home. They're walking home. And on the way home, they have to walk by this graveyard and they have to pee. So they go inside the graveyard to pee. Then the first woman is finished and she doesn't have anything to wipe with. I don't know if this is a trick of you girls, but she used her underwear to wipe her coochie and then she tosses it. She just throws it away. And then her friend, you know, however, finds a ribbon on a wreath on one of the graves. And so she uses that.
That's bold.
I know. So the next day, the first woman's husband, because they're friends, right? They get in touch with the second woman's husband and he's pissed off. He's all furious. He's just like, my wife came home last night without her panties. I'm so pissed off. And the other guy goes, well, that's nothing, says the other husband. Mine came back with a card stuck between her butt cheeks, and that card said, from all of us down here at the fire station, we'll never forget you.
That one is not bad, Grady.
So I can actually see that happening.
Yeah, for real. Me too, actually.
So all these two, just to warn you, they do kind of have I kind of gravitate towards a R rating.
Oh.
So speaking of, are you Italian?
I am.
Oh my God.
How could you tell?
This was random. Totally random, everybody. So this Italian guy is out picking up women in Rome. And so while he's at his favorite bar, he manages to attract one rather attractive looking blonde. So they go back to his place. One thing leads to another, and sure enough, they go at it. So after he climaxes, he rolls over, lights up a cigarette like all Italians do, and asks, so, did you finish? After a short pause, she replies, no. So he's surprised, but pleasantly surprised. So he puts out his cigarette, rolls back on top of her, and has his way with her again. He's Italian. This time he's lasted longer than the first time. And after he finishes, he rolls over again, lights a cigarette and asks, "So, you finish?" And again, with the short pause, she just goes, "No." So now he's stunned. This has never happened before, but still he's acting reflexively, because it's macho pride, man. This has never happened. You got to have it. So he once again puts out the cigarette and entertains his companion du jour. And this time, with all the strength he can muster up, he barely manages to finish and end the task. But he does after same thing. By the time of energy, barely able to roll over, he lights up the cigarette and then asks very tiredly, "So, you finish?" She's like, "No, I'm Swedish."
The kicker.
She had a good night.
She had a great night.
Okay, one more. I promise not to overdo it. So, you ever see the movie a Mr. and Mrs. Smith?
Oh yeah.
Okay, you like that?
Oh, I love that movie.
Kind of cool.
That was a goodie.
So now, this is why women make better assassins. Okay, so the CIA, they have this opening for an assassin. After all the background checks and stuff and interviews and testing were done, there are 3 finalists, 2 men and 1 woman. So for the final test, the CIA agent took one of the men into a large metal door, handed him a gun. He says, we must know that you will follow our instructions no matter what the circumstances. So inside this room, you're going to find your wife sitting in a chair. Kill her. It's like, "You can't be serious. I can never shoot my wife." The agent says, "You're not right man for this job. You take your wife and go home." So the second man gave him the second instructions. And so he took the gun and went into the room. And all was quiet in there for about 5 minutes. No sounds at all. And then the man came out, tears in his eyes. "I tried, but I just can't kill my wife." The agent said, "You don't have what it takes. Go take your wife and go home." So finally, it was the woman's turn. So she was given the same instructions to kill her husband. So she takes the gun, goes into the room. Shots were heard one after another. And then they heard screaming, crashing, banging on all the walls. After a few minutes, all was quiet. The door opened slowly, and there stood the woman, wiping sweat from her brow. She says, "The gun was loaded with blanks. I had to kill him with a chair."
That's hardcore.
Okay. Your first experience with laughing crickets.
It was a good one. We got some laughs in there today. Those were not bad.
Yeah, see, as long as
Those
you're
were not
chuckling,
bad, yeah.
Every once in a while I'll pop in a dad joke.
Oh,
Just on accident.
Just
I don't know.
naturally.
Yeah.
It's still
if
in
I
you.
think it's funny, it's funny. All right. So block 2. So let's go into the modern woman. As we talked about, you got leadership, family. Talked a little bit about forging your identity.
Mm-hmm.
And in a relationship, there's expectations,
Totally.
right? You can't have disappointment without having expectation.
Right.
And where a lot of people go wrong, they don't communicate what's expected.
True.
And
Only the
and then
disappointment.
only the disappointment, right? So there's stuff that goes into it. So expectation overload. So let's talk about this. What would you say to somebody giving somebody advice or girl advice where they say, be successful, but not too much?
What does that mean?
I'll tell you exactly what it means. There are still environments that are not conducive, to female empowerment. Let's put it that way.
Well,
guys that are threatened, because of it and stuff like that.
I think even just on the day to day when you're in a marriage, I'm married, right? I have a husband. He has a job also.
Right.
We have 2 kids. Somebody has to take them to school, make the lunches, do the breakfast, do the laundry, do the house clean, all these things.
Right.
And so naturally, in the natural order of things, it's like mom gets up, mom gets the kids ready, mom makes the breakfast, mom sends them off to school, mom makes the lunch, all the things.
You're the driver.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do the laundry, do the housework. And, as I've gotten more successful, let's say I've brought in more helpers to help me to do the tasks that I feel like are my assigned tasks if I can't keep up with them.
Mm-hmm.
But then that's an interesting dynamic, right? Because should I be asking for someone else to pick up the slack, or is there slack? Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I do. And I think, again, this is kind of getting into the relationship management stuff. It really comes down to the communicating
100%.
and the maturity of each one of the couples, because sometimes one of them is more mature.
Well, and communication too, right? Like you said, expectations. Like I've told my husband from the beginning, I want to work.
Yeah. Well, there's no secret there. And,
yeah. So what does that look like in our family dynamic? I can only do so much at home and away. Right. And in both, I want to do it all because that's my personality type. So like I said, my task list is very, very lengthy.
Yes.
But I choose that. And I do that. And also letting my husband know, my partner and my helpmate, like, hey, today I thought I'd be able to handle all these things, but shoot, I got a wrench in the machine. I need your help. And I expect you to be there. Right. Whereas maybe in the past or something, there wasn't anybody there. If you wanted to do both roles, you got to wear both hats all the time. Right. That's one thing that I think has maybe shifted and changed through the last like 20-ish years, 20, 30 years, you know, with women getting into business and in more roles and more prominent roles, you know, doctors, lawyers, like things like that, not just the secretary at the office. Cause that was another plight, right? Is like working up the actual chain to like have the same positions, like what we talked about. So in doing that, it's like, if you wanted to have it all, maybe you could feel like you were getting too successful because now you can't do your other job that you're supposed to do.
And you kind of are leading into the second bullet point. What do you think about the advice of be a great mom, but don't lose yourself?
I think that's really, really good advice because you can get, I think it for dads too. It's funny. My husband and I were just reflecting on this as my kids are reaching, you know, preteen. And this summer we did a family camp trip where we had the first experience of our kids like not hanging out with us and having no care about it because there were other kids and they could just go run the campground. Right. So it's like, I'm not used to them not coming to me for everything. Like I need water even, you know, or whatever. And as I saw them having their independence and doing this, it was so cool because I'm like, man, awesome. My kids can go in any environment and meet people and fit in and have a great time and whatever. And meanwhile, I'm sitting over here crying like, oh my God, why don't they need me? Yeah. And so it's funny because we had that conversation. I totally can see how you can get lost in the familial life. Even if you have a profession outside of it.
Your role as a parent becomes your identity.
Correct.
And you're defined by that. And that's what it's saying. Don't lose yourself.
Yeah. Like you have to remember. Kids are going
to grow up.
100%.
And then what are you going to do?
Even like the stay-at-home parent, right? The stay-at-home mom. How many existential crises can you have when your kids go and you have nothing to do and you've had no skill in the outside world other than like homemaking, which is, you know, a talent, but still like in the practical application of things as technologies move forward. If you didn't use a computer every day at your house, like how are you going to get into the work field now? Like these are real things that I think need to be talked about more too, because I'm approaching a stage of life where this is coming. And it really hit me like, whoa, even though I do tons of stuff, Grady, you know that, like I have a band, I am an artist, all these things that could be my identities. But somehow like when I saw the mom role slip away for a moment, it was like, oh my God, no wonder people like divorce each other when their kids move out or whatever. It's because you don't know who you are anymore. Yeah. Like if I don't have them to care for.
You're always going to be a mom.
Right.
But and in many ways, your role changes, and and your relationship evolves.
Totally, but that's where you got to really know who you are, so that you can evolve too, and not leave yourself behind.
Well, because some people can never let go of the parenting part, and then that affects the relationship with their kids as an adult, right? And because we're talking about again. You know, I've got some passive income coming in. So now it's like, you know, it's not like I'm multi-millionaire and I don't have to worry about money anymore. And so we're trying to figure out ways, to balance things. And, so whether it's, a part-time job, I'm going to start officiating football.
Oh, that's cool.
Again,
that's really cool.
Kind of like fun.
Yeah.
And, but, to be able to let your kids go, and you're never going to stop being their parent, but it's more, you got to let them.
Well, you got to let them launch, right?
She's like, what if, does your son, my son owns a business, a bar. He's
Mm-hmm.
just like, maybe he needs some help down there. And I'm like, I am not going
You're like,
to.
I'm not going to work for
No,
myself.
well, no, not that. It's like he wants to do it on his own.
Mhm.
He doesn't need his dad there
Right.
anymore. And so even though he would probably say, yeah, Dad, come on down, serve some tables, slink some drinks, or whatever, he would say yes.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, those
Well-
times where I may notice, hey, this is going on right here. And then he's going to take it as Dad's telling me what to do when I'm 40 years old.
Right. Well, that's it's like knowing how to continue to live your life outside of the kids too.
Yeah.
Right. Because we
Yeah.
want them to go and do their thing. And it would be great to just all live in a compound forever and work together and all the
Right.
things. Right. Because we love our kids. We never want them to not be with us.
Right.
But also part of that, like holding on, I think comes with your own loss of identity. Because now it's like scary, right? Like, oh my gosh, what are my options? I don't even know anything now because I've been doing that for so long.
Yeah.
Even if you had a job during that time, right? It's like once the kids are gone, now you come home and it's like, what now?
You have to be able to get to a point where that your kids are going to make mistakes, but you're comfortable with it. Right? You just don't want them to be fatal.
Yeah.
Of course, that's the worst nightmare.
Well, we got to guide them right within a parameter, but they ultimately get to make the choice.
But it becomes now, instead of you telling them what to do, that you do when they're little kids, you have to sometimes go into psychological warfare
Yeah.
because you have to figure out a way to get them the information that motivates them to listening to whatever it is that you're saying.
Right.
They need to be receptive, right? Or otherwise it's going to be when they make the mistakes and then you're going to be the parent says, I told you not to do that.
Yeah. Or cleaning up all the messes
And
when it's like,
they don't need to hear that.
right.
At the point they've already been in their own space saying, oh my God, my parent told me not to do this. And one of these days he's going to say that.
Right.
So,
It's such a weird
it's
thing,
an evolution.
parenthood.
It's an evolution, for sure. Okay. So what about this? Be confident, but not arrogant, right? Thumbs
There's a
up on
difference.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree
definitely.
with that. Be attractive, but not trying too hard to be attractive. Because there's a thing, like I'm telling you, it's a real thing where, like, I think most of us, like we men, I'm talking about most of us men, if you really love, like I love my wife without her makeup. I know she can get fixed up,
Yeah.
and stuff like that, but I there's something about just the girl next door, just being comfortable, and
It's funny because I think that's like a people thing, because my husband will tell me the same thing. Even my son too.
Don't you have to put on the makeup more for the other girls than you do for the guys? In some ways,
I put on makeup for myself,
right?
actually. But in the past, it was like, yeah, definitely to compete.
Now, when
right?
I say you, though, I'm not.
No,
saying
I know.
you. I'm talking women in general.
Yeah. I think there's a healthy competition thing that's just ingrained in us, like what we were talking about. So you want to be the shiny object, right? Like we all want to be
right.
the standout, whatever the case may be.
Don't go
So-
outside looking like you're from Reno all the time.
Yeah, right. Well, and then like you said too, there's like fine lines to stuff, right? Because now we're all about pushing boundaries. Everybody, everywhere, it's like, where's the limit? There's no limits to anything anymore. So maybe we used to wear like fancy ball gowns to the event, and now we wear like panties and a bra, right? With maybe a net over it. Like, how far is too far? It goes crazy, but
I know I just like raise my eyebrows now, just like things sure are different nowadays.
yeah. But like be attractive, but not too attractive.
Yes.
Just remember what you're attracting.
Yeah.
That's the key, is like you can do whatever you want, right? But what are you trying to pull in with it?
Right. Yeah,
So like if you
exactly.
take it too far in one direction and you're getting something that you don't want, you can't really blame other people for that,
Mhm.
because you haven't done the self-assessment of what your actual role is or what you're doing or what you're putting out to get back, right?
Yep.
Because so that's something to kind of think about.
It's girls these days again have made it too easy for us
Agreed.
guys, to land the deal.
Agreed.
Put it
Well,
that
the world's
way.
so driven around sex anyway that like, it's the programming's there now. It's like
Mhm.
we got to be so out and open and bold about everything. And that's just the way it is now or something.
No, I mean, even
But
the dinosaur age of the 80s, I was very flippant, again, playing football, and I had, it wasn't difficult
Right.
to get dates and stuff. And so,
Well, and think
I
about
was-
now, Grady, though, where people can't even, they don't even know how to date. Like I have friends who are trying to get back in the scene or, you know,
Right.
whatever. And it's like, you can't even just like meet a person.
right.
You have to go through some platform and some system and some survey and like some
Mhm.
thing and then make a meeting point. And
Yeah. I thought
know,
they're getting away from that.
it's
though,
like, well,
from the apps. I heard that the youngsters, they're not drinking as much.
right.
As,
I think they're trying to get away from it, but
Yeah.
the issue remains that they're socially awkward. Like nobody knows how to interact or something, you know,
Right.
like
oh yeah.
like you've been out recently, I'm sure, and seen like the people talking to the people, right?
Mhm.
And there's a lot of like solo flyers everywhere that just don't even know how to launch. Like,
Right.
how do I even start the conversation? I'm
Yeah,
too afraid to
exactly.
actually just like walk up and be like, "Hey, guy."
And that was the whole thing. Is just like, oh my God, that girl is like.
That's the coolest, most
even-
empowering
even-
thing is like
even
a
if
hot
you
dude
just-
coming over and be like, "Hey, lady." You're like, "Whoa, that guy's got something," you know?
I know, just like, you know, even something simple, just like, you know, hey, I don't, you know, we may never see each other again. I just had to come over and say, like, you got to have a boyfriend,
Right.
something like that, some stupid, you know.
I think it doesn't
dumber, the
happen much
better,
anymore.
right?
I think it doesn't happen much anymore.
Kind of like the dumber, the more cute.
Yeah. I mean, or whatever. Just the interaction alone is like cute.
Yeah.
You know, now it's not really
Having the confidence to
Yes.
just come up and talk.
well, and I think
you know.
we're so diluted with so many different platforms and so much visual trash happening all the time that
Right.
like, you know, it's hard to define what's good or bad or how do I even start the conversation? Where do I even go to do it? You know, like, do I
Yeah.
just go to a bar and sit down and try to meet people? I don't think people really meet like that anymore.
Oh,
You know?
I'll have to remind me, because Adrian has a few show concepts that are related to dating.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so we'll have to sit down one of these times. And I'm gonna have
Yeah.
to tell you about all the different ideas that we'll be working on and vetting and stuff. So
Very cool.
I think you're definitely going to fit in somehow. I got a feeling. I get a feeling. Okay, let's talk about your journey real quick.
Sure.
So Shirley's journey. I have this titled. So what or who shaped your confidence?
Well, okay. So I would have to say probably my grandmother, really like as from a very young age, that probably as long back as I could remember, she would just always tell me things like, listen to the little voice inside of you. Do what you feel, like let that drive you, kind of thing. And so I would use that first as a truth meter, right? Like, does this feel good? The
So
consequence.
she's referring to
or whatever.
intuition, instinct.
Yeah, like just like when
Your-
you're doing something or like you want to run up and tell me something, you know, because I was always like the outspoken talking. Ever since I learned to talk, I've never stopped talking. So most of my memories revolve around people telling me to like be quiet or like calm down or, you know, stuff like that. And she would always just tell me like, if you have something to say, then don't be afraid to say it. But time and place, right? Like I had to learn as a child, but she would instill in me that like, it's a valuable thing. If you're thinking a thought process and you want to get it out and share it, there's a reason why. So like you should.
Yeah.
And like do that. And I'm like, okay, cool. And then growing up, you know, to get the confidence in everything, like how I present and all the things, like that takes a lot of time, right? We
Right.
got to go through the awkward phases of growing up and all this stuff. But I know that
Repetition.
really what happened for me is when I graduated college and I was like getting into the workforce world or whatever, I was already doing real estate at that time. I really like had to make the conscious decision of like, I'm not going to let anybody tell me what I can do or can't do because they're judging me based on how I look or something, or maybe I don't have enough information. None of that really matters. Like I know I want to do something and I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
So
'cause
I'm going
you're
to
letting
stand
somebody else put limitations on yourself.
and I don't,
They don't have
like
to be
that.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
makes
So
no sense.
it was like once I was really starting out in the world and I was past all my fun time school stuff and all that, you know, I made the decision to just like really own that. Like, what is my gut telling me? What do I feel? If somebody doesn't like how I look or how I present or whatever, fine. There's enough people in the world that I can express that through somebody else or whatever, you know? So I just always felt like, I need to be my authentic self.
Yeah.
And I just really owned it long enough for enough time that it just became exactly who I am now.
So with all of that being said, when did you realize that you had power, not just potential?
I would say,
Is there a crystallizing moment that you can recall?
you know, I was at this coaching thing in business and all the people I was there, I was representing somebody else actually. Like I had the pleasure and privilege to be able to go to this event on behalf of someone. And all the people in the room were like mega producer people, like, making millions of dollars a month, stuff like that. And I'm just like this little girl. That's what I felt like here. And I didn't have like, the Gucci clothes and all the stuff and whatever. And I was like really intimidated just arriving at the hotel for the event. But I like was in my room before I was going down there. And I'm like, you know what? There's no difference of any of these people. Like I'm getting an opportunity right now, like what they have had at one point in their life, and they took it and it worked for them. So like, I just need to really hone in on like exactly who I am and not change it. Like it's going to be okay. Even if I don't have the information, even if I don't have the knowledge, if I can't answer the question, if I don't know where to go, if I'm wearing the wrong shoes, whatever the case may be, I'm going to own exactly who I am. And whether it's quirky, funny, dorky, goofball, whatever, all the things that I am, clumsy, that's it. So this is what you get. And all I know is that I know I'm going to do my best at whatever it is I decide to do. And I'm going to work really hard because I care a lot. And so as long as I do that, then I'm going to make it.
So how did that event turn out?
Amazing. I mean, look, I'm still in real estate for one.
Yeah.
I learned a ton. I got like 3 mentors out of that. I mean, it was really awesome. But man, when I first arrived there, I literally felt like I shouldn't even be here kind of thing. And that was like
one of the biggest fears still is public speaking.
Yeah.
So people still, so you
I'm good with that now. Yeah.
Oh yeah. You went through that
empowering through those things, I think would really like people should try to do more than just like, if you have a regular job, and I don't say that in a negative way. It's just that I've been self-employed for a really long time. Right.
Right.
So, but if you have like a regular job and you do your day to day, I really hope that there's some other thing that you have that like you can be amongst people and doing something. Cause like when we're doing and we're involved with other people, there's enrichment in that happens. Right. It doesn't even matter if you're like you and your friends meet to talk about playing chess, or you're part of a artist salon, or you go to improv nights and you whatever the case may be. But I really think people need to look for that enrichment because it will help them hone in on who they really are more and stand taller in who they are.
Now, speaking of real estate, before I do, let me ask you this. How has becoming a mom changed your definition of girl power?
Oh, wow. A lot, especially since I have a daughter.
Yeah.
Good question, Grady. It's
what are both of them also teaching you about the next generation that's coming down the pike?
That's really interesting. Being a mom and seeing my daughter growing up right now in this time, it's different because things are so fluid too. That's one thing that I've noticed is like people aren't talking about gender as much, even though it's still a thing. Like we're here and
only in the WNBA.
Yeah. But it's like, there's this fluidity that's happening that I don't think we've had in our space before with people where it's truly like, where we would have definitive lines, like the boy is the weightlifter and the girl is going to do ballet or whatever, right. In the family. Now it's so blurry that everybody thinks they can do everything. And that's great. I think that's awesome. But what's getting lost in that is like, what are we actually doing? A lot of people are just lip servicing and talking. And with girl power today, I think that what we need to think about is like, dude, who are you as a woman and what do you bring to the table? It's probably kind of similar to a lot of other ones, right? Which is goes back to, again, of let's lift each other up. Let's lift up people. I mean, some of these lines that are happening still are kind of silly, even though there's barriers, right? There's only barriers because we still have the lines in our mind. So if we can just get with it, like, this is really funny because when I was growing up, like you talked about the early 60s for you, like in the 90s, I remember women were working already and they were fighting for fair wage, right? Like to get the same pay.
Still are.
But but we're still doing the jobs. But a bigger thing in the forefront was more like people are people, right? Like Michael Jackson's we're black, we're white, we're whatever. Like let's all just live in harmony.
Yeah.
And I think we've still lost sight of that. Like people are people. We need to lift everybody up.
We all bleed the same color.
Yeah. And if you want to do something, you don't necessarily need your gender platform to stand on. If that helps you though, if you become empowered in that and that's who you're embodying, well then awesome. I think there's a place for that for sure. And I think there's going to be plenty of people standing behind you who feel that same emotion because like we want to feel empowered. It's like women empowerment is cool, but like men empowerment's cool too. Let's not forget, this is a very hard topic that people don't really talk about too, right? It's like the other side of it. What's happened with women empowerment? What are some
Right.
of the roles that are changing? Some of the professions that are changing that were male dominated that are now women dominating? And what is that meaning? What's happening because of that? Because like you said, most women, I think, lead with emotion, right? We have a lot of emotions involved in things that we
Yeah.
do.
In a
And-
general sense, as a contrast between the two.
Yes.
Not that men don't get emotional.
No, but you know what I'm
But
trying to say. Like we
it's like-
start at different places, but we can end up at the same conclusion,
Mhm.
right? But our thought processes are different.
Mhm.
So that's interesting because if we're doing the same job, but we're doing it completely differently, arriving at the same conclusion, then doesn't it make sense that we should have both people doing both things, like doing it all?
Yeah.
So like we shouldn't disclude anybody from any position just because it predominantly was male forever doesn't mean it has to be all female now.
Yeah.
Is what I'm
Well,
trying to say. Do you know
and-
what I mean? Like,
Yeah, and it depends on what we're talking about. I have to point this out because I mentioned the WNBA,
Mhm.
right? So, like, again, without making this political, because it's topical. I mean, there are certainly sports applications, and that's where I actually like focus. I guess my argument, my point of view, that I think most of us. I'm speaking for myself, but I think that most of us socially, not that there aren't people that are, they're just too stuck in old thinking.
Mhm.
Let's put it that way.
Mhm.
Most of us, I don't care like what a person does to have fun. I don't care who they sleep with.
Mhm.
You know, I don't care what their sexual preference is. I don't care if they're a eunuch.
Yeah.
I really don't care. As long as you don't hurt other people, especially children.
Mhm.
Okay, go fly.
Agreed.
Fly.
Yeah, do your thing.
Have fun. Yeah,
Do your
all
thing.
that
Just
stuff.
don't try to tell me what to do because I'm
Or-
also doing my thing, right? And
Well,
like
no.
I want you to do your thing.
Yes, but where I was going with this is that there are some things that are really not debatable. Like you talked about weightlifting, right? So men are stronger.
Physiologically, our bodies are built
Physiological.
that way. It's
They're
just
built
the
that way.
facts.
It's just the way that it is.
Yes.
So when it comes to, I guess, a certain point, when the kids are, 5 years old, it really doesn't matter. The
No.
boys and the girls playing together, co-ed, stuff like that. But once you get into junior high, especially high school, collegiate, anything, and you're, first of all, a biological male
Mhm.
that can't cut it with the males, and then they say, I'm going to go compete against, like, dude, you're a coward.
So that's like
I'm
to
just
me,
saying,
this is like the anti of girl power, right? Is like
Yeah.
in 2023, Bruce Jenner won Woman of the Year.
right.
So yeah, we're still fighting, Grady.
Yes.
Big time.
Yeah.
Because that is despicable. All these beauty competitions, which already were questionable as a feminist, right? Any feminists
Right.
out there are like, ooh, beauty whatever.
Very subjective.
Now being won by, biological men. So it's a strange time where
Yeah.
we feel like we're becoming equal, but still in this lesser position,
Mhm.
and like, where do those
even
lines
as far
go?
as biological males that dress or engage in not the normal mainstream behavior,
Mhm.
let's put it like that. I'm all for them, like whatever you want to do.
Dude,
Like
absolutely.
if you're a bowler, if you're a track athlete, if you're a softball player, baseball player, whatever, go out there and compete. But you're not going to compete against somebody that's physically less able to compete on an even playing field. You
Right.
see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So that, and again, that's an 80-90, type of thing that
Yeah.
I hear, as far as people, but
Well, and like people live your life. Absolutely. Do
Mhm.
you? I mean, please. That's what
Right.
we're here to do is your own
Right.
experience and whatever that means to you and however it feels and all the things, like I'm all for it.
Yeah.
But like what you're saying with the sports and stuff, this is like now a different thing, right? This
Right.
isn't just like people playing the game. This is like coercion almost.
Right.
Like how do we manipulate the game?
yeah.
And so that makes it all unfair. And then that makes sports less relevant in a
Yeah.
way.
Because I
You
do
know?
not, like, we, again, not to be sexist, but again, some of us are raised that we are, because of that physicality, we are the protectors
Yeah.
of our women. And when I say our women, I'm not speaking as a possession.
No, I know what you mean.
I'm-
Of the women of the populace.
Of our world.
Well, I taught my
know?
boy that same thing. I also told him he should never hit a girl. And we also taught our daughter growing up that there will be a time when your brother will turn on you and actually whoop you for a change. You
It
won't
could
be
happen.
the strongest one because he's going to overtake you. It's just science.
Yes.
Like at some point it will happen. When? We don't know. But, that's just facts.
Yeah.
That's science.
And so that being said, again, just being real. And again, I know that
Yeah.
it can be
Interesting topic.
controversial,
Yeah.
but it's again,
Well,
just,
and
to
Grady,
me,
you and I both
silly.
know we're speaking from love and from our hearts. And like, we have there's no negative here, right?
Yeah.
Like, it is what these
well,
are just.
I think of it like this. So like everybody's afraid of like, say, like the word bigot, right?
Mhm.
Which the definition of that is somebody that is reluctant or adverse to deviating or changing from traditional norms. Okay, so if me being a bigot, if I have to take that on because I have the stance that biological men should not be competing with biological women, in high level stakes and
Yeah.
stuff, like then I guess I'm a bigot.
Sometimes.
Not on everything,
Yeah.
but at least on that subject,
Well, and if
I
we
will
have to
claim
put
it.
labels on it, like we said earlier, there's labels for everything now.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, so now we're going to do a thing called lightning round. Oh, so often I forget these sound effects. I got some pretty good ones. Anytime that you're feeling good or if you need to go to the bathroom. Okay, so lightning round. So girl power, I want you to say if this is real or if it's something that's ridiculous.
Okay.
Okay. So being a boss babe, is that real or is that
Real.
ridiculous?
Hella real.
Mom guilt.
Oh my God. So true. Yes. Real AF. Let's say that.
Explain that. What is mom guilt?
Oh my gosh, there's so many levels to mom guilt, Grady. Mom guilt could be like, I'm going out with my girls to have wine right now instead of going home to see my kids. That's one level of mom guilt,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Another mom guilt could be like, oh my gosh, there's just so many. My kid wants to go do that, but I'm morally torn on it and I want to let him go, but I can't let him go. I'm
Yeah.
guilty because
Yeah.
I just don't know what to do.
Gotcha.
That's like another.
So you're kind of like, you feel guilty from doing your job sometimes.
Yeah, like, and also the guilty of like maybe trying to be, like for me, the most mom guilt ever came when I'm trying to do my own thing, right? Like I'm going to go have my kids stay at their grandparents for the weekend because I'm going to go to a costume party with my friends tomorrow night or whatever.
Yeah, you got to do
And
that
so,
every once in a while.
but you have that little bit of
Yeah.
guilt, like I'm just sending my kids away to like
Yeah.
throw a party. That's
Yeah.
crazy. But no way, dude, have the party. Like
Yeah.
we're supposed to live. So
I'm telling you though, as your friend, the next 7 years or so are going to go by so fast.
oh my gosh, it's
I
already
know. Yeah.
so crazy. I just
Yeah.
look at my daughter and my son. Like I said, I had that one
Don't
little
you-
taste of them not even caring about
Do you
me.
kind of miss them?
Yeah.
Like right now, being like, do you miss the days when they're like
yeah,
7 and
they'll just
7
run over and
eight?
crawl in your lap and be like, I
Yeah.
love you, mom. Like, oh my gosh, yes, please. Again, it's wonderful. Instead of like they're in their bedrooms and I have to like knock on the door and say, hey, did you want to come and talk to me? Please come talk to me.
All right, now real or ridiculous? High heels at work.
Real. Why not?
Yeah.
I mean, what's your job? It's-
Quick.
I think that's a personal preference.
Yeah, depends on what you do.
Yeah. I mean, if you're at the job site and walking in the dirt and stuff, stilettos won't be your friend.
Now, is this real or ridiculous? Crying at work.
It happens.
It happens.
It
So
happens.
that would be real.
I'd say real. I
Yeah.
think that happens.
As long as it doesn't happen too frequently. If it happened too frequently, then that would turn.
Well, then you
into
got to ask yourself some
ridiculous.
questions, right? Like,
Yeah.
are your hormones okay? Because there
Yeah.
comes a point where they're not, and you're going to cry all the time.
Yeah.
No,
But
but
if
you know,
are
there's some
crying all the
instances.
time, it would eventually get to a point where it would be ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because then you get this reputation, right?
Well, nobody wants to be the crybaby.
Yeah.
But there's stuff that happens. Like, what if I slam my finger in my drawer at my desk? I might cry. Or what if I just had the worst day of my entire life and every deal I had canceled? I'm crying.
Yeah.
I'm crying on that one.
Gotcha.
Maybe not at the office. So I'd probably go out in my
Well,
car.
It's real. It's,
It's
real,
real.
as long as it's not too frequent.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like
well, I mean,
patterns.
yeah, you don't want to just be crying all over
Because
the place.
you want to.
But emotions are a real thing.
You got to manage your emotions.
Absolutely. And you should feel them all, but also, like you're kind of alluding to time and place,
Mhm.
right? Like if we're sitting around the boardroom table and somebody hurts my feelings and I start crying, that's uncomfortable for everybody, right?
I think I know your answer on this one. So, real or ridiculous? Negotiating hard.
Oh, real.
Are you a hard negotiator?
Yes. It's my favorite part of my whole job.
Real or ridiculous? Saying no without explaining.
Like to a child or
Doesn't say.
just at all? Saying no without explaining?
Mm-hmm. It's under the heading of girl power, though.
Like,
So girl power, you're just
That's-
saying no. No, I'm
Like,
just saying
no.
no with no explanation.
like this, Grady.
Yeah,
No.
yeah, exactly.
I mean, I don't like that.
I mean,
Ridiculous. Like I said, though, I'm a talker.
Kind of real or rude.
Yeah, rude.
Yeah, probably rude.
So rude.
Okay. Real. Well, I already know your answer on this one. Women supporting women.
Real.
That's real.
Yeah, for sure.
Real or ridiculous when somebody says you're intimidating.
I feel like that's ridiculous.
Yeah, because they don't really know you.
Right.
They need to know you. Real or ridiculous, men calling themselves girl dads.
Ridiculous. I think boy mom and girl dad both dumb.
Really?
We're parents.
Why?
We have a child. Girl or boy, does it matter?
Yeah, right?
What's the difference?
Yeah, exactly. So like you're either
I thought-
a dad or you're not.
Like I'm a softball mom.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
That makes more sense than just like a gender parent. You know
Yeah.
what? Like what if you just that's funny.
I'm a Bailey's and coffee grandpa.
Yeah, see, there you go. No, that's the fun grandpa.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, last one. Real or ridiculous, the phrase having it all.
Kind of ridiculous.
I think so too.
Yeah, that's silly.
I think because
Because you can have it all and still do nothing or
I
whatever.
think there's a difference between saying that you have it all, because we know even people that are wealthy don't have it all.
Right.
Right. And being content. There's a difference between having
100%.
this thing, just like, I'm content. I
No,
don't
it's like,
need
I'm
what
good.
a lot of people need.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. And I'm kind of there.
That's so cool.
I mean, I'm there. I was like, it just doesn't take much.
Isn't it wonderful to like reflect on your life and the stuff that you've been doing and like it?
Yeah. And being able to like really, when your wife asks you a question, it's just like, whatever you want, honey. Whatever
She
you
likes
think,
that too,
whatever you
Grady.
think, whatever you think, so, all right. So next block under platforms, power, partnership. And of course, talking from feminism to our modern visibility that we have with platforms now. Women now have direct platforms. We talked about social media, podcasts, businesses, community, personal brands. What do you think about the fact, because of all those things, that now the gatekeepers, they used to be the secretaries back in the days of Virginia Slim and stuff like that. So the gatekeepers are weaker than they used to be. Do you find that? And is it easier to get in touch with somebody that you want to get in touch with?
I think it's easier to get in touch with people.
That's what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
So they're weaker.
The gatekeepers are weaker.
Mhm.
Yep, for sure.
So visibility creates opportunity, but like we talked about, it also comes with more criticism.
Correct. There's a price always when you're putting yourself on a platform, right?
Yep.
Regardless of how you're doing it or what the message is or anything, you're opening yourself up. So it'd be like if we called a town square meeting back in the day and asked the whole town to come, right? You're going to say some stuff. You don't expect them to just listen and walk away, right? So we can't forget that with these platforms, the information that we're putting out there, you have some kind of purpose going on for what you're posting or writing or whatever.
Do you comment on strangers' posts?
Not often.
Me either.
No.
It's a friend. And then
Yeah.
every once in a while when I'll comment on a friend's post and then somebody I don't even know comes in and starts just trashing whatever it is that I said.
Right.
They have no idea like our relationship.
Well, and this is where
with this person.
yeah, and this is where like the platforms are interesting, right? Because
Right.
there's a lot of freedom in being not unknown, except for your handle and all of
Yeah.
that comes with it. But I think there's certain generational thought processes between how we use the platforms, right? Like you're saying, you're not going to really comment on somebody you don't know. But there's a whole grouping of people who are just meeting people that way, right? Like we're meeting new people through the online.
By trolling.
And so, well, different stuff. So it's thinking about, like, I've been thinking about this a lot.
Well, they get their own
too.
dopamine hit, right? By getting a response from somebody that they don't, the keyboard warrior.
Right.
Well,
Well, I think one thing that's really cool is like you're saying the gatekeepers, it's less now. You can contact more people directly. And in that, you can really grow your own network quite large. So if you're thinking about, leverage, like if I'm going to lift up another gal who does a business that's going to be working with me or whatever, who do I know in my network that I should connect her with? And
Yeah.
how do I do that? And like,
Yeah.
blah, 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 all the things that we know, right?
Yeah.
Well, now the next level is like capturing the unknowns. So maybe you need to start commenting more. Maybe I need to start commenting more. 'Cause then we get more people entering
The strangers?
the field, you know? Yeah.
I don't know.
No, too scary.
I was like, I have a filter. Like I make people prove to me that they're worthy of my engagement,
Well, I like that about you.
you know, but all right. Is modern platform, to end this, is the modern platform empowering, exhausting, or both?
Both.
Yeah, I'm still trying to find that empowering part.
You know,
I
it's
haven't sold out yet, which is weird, you know, because, you know, like you used to get on stage and you know, have
Just
a good
do the
time,
thing.
just
Yeah.
do the thing.
it's
and
different
I
though
just-
with this new
It is.
media. You know, it really
is.
is. And then it's also like people are looking at it in a different way too. Like it's not just like, oh, Joy, let's go see a band play.
Yeah.
It's like now they're like looking at every second of the thing. You know, who knows what they're breaking
Yeah.
it down in a whole nother way. And so it's just interesting
It
because
is.
you want to stay relevant. You want to have good content. You want people to like it and see you and get the followers and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
But like, do you really want to play the game?
Because that's where you're like, that's supposed to be the formula
Well,
for success.
and
You know,
like,
you
I
have to have
can-
all these followers.
I made the same video as that realtor, but she a more risque outfit, let's say.
Mhm.
And now she got more, you know, all of these things that factor in, and we're still back at those same core
Yeah.
questions that we began this podcast with, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of amazing that even with all the technology,
Yeah.
it's still like, we got to have the girl power. We got to help each other out. We got to lift them up. And then also all people.
Exactly. So feminism at its core. I was thinking about this. So what are they asking for? Like what do women want, right? And I came up with these when you comment on them.
Okay.
So what I think that you guys want from the time the suffrage movement until today, you want dignity.
hmm
You want to have the same rights,
I agree.
you know, as other men. You want opportunity.
hmm
And I think that, of course, you have the DEI stuff, but again, most people, including women, they want something that they deserved as long as the opportunity is equal. Like it doesn't
Relevance.
matter. Like the gender doesn't matter. I just want the same opportunity
Mhm.
to prove what I can do. You guys want to be safe.
Yep.
You want to feel safe, and you want to have your voice heard. Like when you do have something to say, you want somebody to not necessarily agree with you,
Right.
but you want them to at least listen.
It helps to be heard.
Yeah, you know.
Well,
And so
relevance.
is that
It comes
correct,
down to
those
like
things?
being relevant in what you do, right? Because losing your identity and being at the home or all these different things that can happen. It's
Mhm.
like,
well, and there's an ebb and flow.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right. But would you agree that those core
I think those are pretty good.
definitions for feminism,
I
right?
think that's pretty good. Yeah. I mean, there's
also-
probably more that we're not thinking of right now, but
Also, I want you to think about this little caricature that we've kind of, especially again, the last 20 years, certainly, that we've now kind of gotten to this like men versus women thing, which is kind of centered around like anger versus, you know, anger as an identity, right? That not all women, but there's kind of definitely,
Karens.
we're not going to have any more kids.
oh yeah,
You know, we're not going to get married and stuff like that. And so
the
there's this-
anti
yeah, so it's kind of like I was thinking
feminine feminist.
in a weird way, like again, 100 years ago, a little over, like you have escaped this superiority that used to exist that all men had over women. You've escaped that superiority,
Mhm.
right? And so, but now a lot of women, that superiority over men is now more important than the equality that they
Well, and
were
that's the
first
thing is like,
after.
right, it's not working enough that like we're getting to be in the same positions. And this is what I was kind of alluding to too, is it's like, well, when you just discount all men now and
Yeah.
let women take over, it really changes a lot of things. And I
that's-
think we're going to see, there was this really interesting article and I'm going to send it to you so that you can read it. And if you want,
Okay.
tag it in this.
Mhm.
That talks about the Supreme Court and the amount of judges and also the attorneys working within the districts and how there's been a major shift from men to women
Mhm.
and what that looks like for the jail system
Mhm.
and just different measures and things that are happening and decisions that are being made, you know, whereas maybe like before more people would get more jail time. Now they're looking at alternatives or, you know, it's
Which would make sense
it's shifting and
because-
shaping
because
based
you
on
women are more empathetic.
based on not just the law,
Mhm.
but also the feeling.
Mhm.
And that's something that like historically in these powerful positions was missing to some degree, right? It was the feeling of behind, well, this makes me feel like that. So I'm going to make that decision. And I think that that's like a little definer between our thought processes as men and women, right?
Mhm.
It's because you maybe don't always put the feel in it. It's more like analytical. It is what it is. Here's the facts. Here's the thing. And we're like, here's the facts. Here's the thing. And this is what I feel about it.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
another level to all thought processes.
Yeah, for sure. Because
Right.
there's no doubt that, I mean, the female persuasion is definitely more empathetic,
Mhm.
than we males are. And also the fact that now I think 65% of college graduates are women.
Yep.
And jobs like that, you're going to have a formal
It's swaying
education.
to the
Mhm.
other side. And so
Mhm.
it's going to be interesting to see what that looks like
Right.
across the board, right? Because
Yeah.
look at where we've come to
Because
now.
we are. I mean, it's like, so there's evil in the world. We're not going to get rid of it. There's always going to be
We're
evil.
under the battle, man. I mean, it's
And
just the facts.
When you have to put a dog down, you have to put a dog down.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, we could have a show on that too.
Yeah.
But I'll end this little thought here that the men versus women type of dynamic, healthy girl power does not need to make men small.
No.
It's not. It's in the long game. We need each other.
We do.
We need each other.
Well, we're made to be compatible together, right? In a way.
Mhm.
So like where you would go and carry all the heavy stuff and I'd be picking the grass behind you or whatever to eat it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we're helpmates of each other.
That's right.
Like our bodies and our minds and all the things were made to operate in like that way. So I think it's okay to empower women to, again, want to be that equal. And that's where the shift is happening, like what you were talking about. But girl power is a good thing. It doesn't mean less for men at all.
How do we talk about women's power without turning it into this like gender food fight?
Oh gosh, that's really hard,
How do we do it? I mean, we're doing it now.
We're kind of doing it now. Yeah. It's like, I think just the open conversation of it and not getting offended
Mhm.
by saying things like we're different or, like what
Have you seen my notes? You haven't
is a
seen
big
my
deal. I
notes.
have not.
How do you do this? So what I wanted to do next, dovetailing off of that, is as the man in the room, I want to talk to men and talk about how to partnership and support. And again, I was married with my college sweetheart for 20 years and with Darcy now for 25.
Okay.
So
It's a lot of relationship.
yeah, you know what I mean? I know a little bit about how to keep it together. Even though, again, it's pretty normal.
Right.
At some time of relationship that long, you do question, what are we doing?
Always.
here?
I
You
just
know
had
what I
my
mean?
19-year wedding anniversary yesterday.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, but you guys are rocking it though. But you
Thanks.
feel what I'm saying though. It's
Oh,
not
yeah.
it's not easy. So for you men, I would think that this could potentially be useful. And that is that ask, relating to girl power, what does support from us men actually look like, right? This is where I'm coming from.
Mhm.
What does this really look like? We like to rescue the damsels in distress. And so sometimes though, you girls don't want to be rescued.
Right.
You just want us to listen to you without rescuing.
Yeah. Just
We
let it-
don't need a solution all the time, right?
Right.
Like,
No,
so
we just
talk
want to
about
get it
that.
out.
Am I
We've
ri-
already
am I
worked
right?
on it usually. We just need to
Mhm.
get it out now.
Yeah. So am I,
think-
right? And
I think you're right.
And if I'm right, how do we recognize it in that moment? What's a good tool?
Oh
that
gosh,
you
that's
can
hard.
give?
That's women's psychology. We could be
Yeah.
here all day.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. I think it's important as a partner to figure out what your partner really wants and just like ask them frankly, not like in that moment every single time, but just like,
Yeah.
hey, I know sometimes you just need to vent and you want to get it out.
That's
so like,
great.
so let me know when that is because I want you to have that freedom.
That's
I don't want
really
to step on your toes if you've got stuff to say.
Mm.
I can save it to the end,
It could
right?
be,
Or whatever.
It could be like you said, just like, hey, honey, sometimes again, so I'm a problem solver. So sometimes when you want me just to listen, just let me know.
Yeah, just tell me.
Just tell me. Just like, hey, I just want you to listen. And
I think people
that's
should
it.
not be afraid to communicate.
Yeah.
And also, like, when you've been in a relationship for a long time, and you can talk about this too, probably, you think you guys have this dynamic and you know what's going on, and then all of a sudden some stuff's going to hell and you're like, why is this not working out? Why are we not on the same page? We've always been on the same page.
Mhm.
Well, because you forgot, we stopped communicating about something.
Right.
So it's okay to, like, at any moment in your relationship to revisit communication and be like, hey, I'm feeling a bit disconnected.
Mhm.
What do you need from me right now?
Yeah.
Because I want to tell you what I need, and then we can go forward and it'll be
Yeah.
awesome.
You go first.
Yeah, right. Everything. No.
I like it. Another useful thing here for men is to respect your woman's ambition, right? If you have
Yes.
an
Yeah, don't.
ambitious woman, that's a good thing, right? Because like our schedule, the way it is right now, I'll just share a little quick story. She came to me with a business idea a month ago. Yeah, she's been talking about it for a couple months, but she like was pulling the trigger about a month ago. I'm like, how much does it cost? She told me, and I said, how many events will it take to get your money back? She said, about 6. I'm like, do it.
Yeah, cool. Give her
Yeah.
the freedom. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I
And
didn't wanna
hopefully she would
pick
do the same for
apart-
you if
yeah.
you wanted to do
Oh,
something.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, you come with logic.
I
This
think,
is why
Grady,
this
we
makes
have the luxury
sense.
of time together though, because you know, it's like you trust your partner and you can see the passion and the drive and all of that. And so why would you shatter it? Even if it's like, I want to make custom pins and sell them to my friends,
That's the whole thing.
then honey, make your pins.
I don't want to be.
You know what I mean? Or
I don't
yeah.
want to be a dream
And why
stealer.
should we? And like, also, like, don't be afraid. We're living life together. Do stuff together.
Yeah.
You know, let your partner fly a little bit.
Yeah.
It's going to be all right.
And also men, we were talking about this a little bit, and I'm sure there's some that do it, but there's a lot that could do better, myself included, is share the load at home. Share the load at home. We have blue chores and pink chores
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Yeah. That's
But
what I was
there's-
talking about too.
yeah.
It's like when you're the woman and it's in you already to do all the stuff your mom did for you. Right.
Yeah.
Like you just know that's your job, right? I'm
Yeah.
supposed, as a wife and a mom, I'm supposed to keep my house clean. I'm supposed to have food in the fridge, laundry done, you know, all of these tasks. And then I also have my whole job and everything that I do there. And now all the stuff my kids need and what
Yeah.
my husband needs.
She
So-
has sensed a pattern though, because every once in a while, you know, I'll be vacuuming, you know, and I'm just smiling, and doing the dishes, you know, and I'm smiling at her, just, you know, not doing anything. And then eventually she'll catch on. She'll ask me the question. So which caliber is it this time?
That's funny.
Okay. Now
That's good.
another one, like when we do mentor each other, do it without condescension.
Yeah.
Now I have to admit, I have fun sometimes being a little bit condescending, and it's just like, for example, it'll come something like, you know, she's like, well, stop being condescending. And I'm like, I'm not being condescending, but like I will spell it or give you the definition of it if you want.
Yeah. See?
See, but that's like, you know, I'm just having fun.
Yeah.
But anyway, celebrating also without feeling threatened, right? Like
Yeah.
celebrate those successes for your lady, you know, without being, you know, feeling threatened.
Well, and that's funny that you say that too, because there's times, you know, I've had friends and other people that I've talked to where it's like the male was the breadwinner and then the female became the breadwinner.
Right.
And that role shift really messed with his mind.
Oh,
And it's like
yeah.
but the thing is like we're doing life together and
Yeah.
there's going to be ebbs and flows and things are going to go up and down. And why does it matter where it's coming from?
Yeah.
As long as it's coming. Right.
Yeah,
And so
exactly.
like celebrate each other and what you're doing. And like, it's okay. There's going to be another time where you can take the lead in whatever the case may be. Like, I'm not going to go prepare the boat to go out on the lake. Okay.
Right. Exactly.
Like you do the camping gear.
That's a blue job.
I bring the food,
Yeah.
you do the, you know, or whatever. You do the rest. Here, I
Yes.
was going to say that. So like, we all have these like preconceived little things and whatever. And it's like, give the give.
I grill.
Yeah. You grill. I'll do
know.
the dishes that night or whatever.
No, I still do the dishes.
You do?
Well, yeah, because she's doing all the other stuff.
Wait a
You
minute.
know,
Wait, I'm taking a note here from my husband.
This
Hold
is
on.
like,
I'm just joking.
no,
He does all this
seriously,
stuff.
like, well, I mean, I can, you know, but all the side dishes and stuff like that, she's normally in the kitchen. I'm out signing
grilling
the
it up.
grill.
Okay, yeah,
with the
that's
beer,
true. That's
You know,
true.
beer. I ask her if she needs anything, you know, or whatever. But then I'll, you know, do the dishes.
You sound like
she cooks
like
most of the
me.
time.
We have a dynamic, you know, it's
Yeah.
like we've figured out the rules and the things that we like to do and don't like to do and actually talked about it and then said, hey, you hate to do that. Great. I'll do it. You do the other thing that
Yeah.
I hate to do or
Yeah.
whatever.
Exactly.
And if it's not working out, talk about it.
And if you hate doing it, you should still do it every once in a while, so that way you can appreciate the other person.
Well, then you
doing it
can
for
remember why you hate it so much.
That's what I'm saying. All right. So now this one is called "What's the Verdict?" Okay. So thumbs up or thumbs down
Okay.
on these little.
Say it or do it.
Yep. You either like it or you don't.
Okay.
Girl power. I think I know you already answered this, so I apologize. So girl power is still a useful phrase.
No.
Okay. So thumbs down on that.
Yeah, mostly thumbs down.
Yeah. And it's kind of had its day.
It's kind of had its day.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. There it is right there.
Yeah. Women can have it all.
Well, yes.
Thumbs up or thumbs down.
I mean, yeah.
What is it? What is it all?
That's what I mean. Like we can all have it all.
I mean, yeah.
I kind of think thumbs
'cause-
down on it because I just don't like it. Like the phrase.
I know, but it's really.
But I mean,
true.
yes,
You
women can
you
have
it
anything
all.
they desire as well as a man can have anything they desire. You just go get it.
I mean, you don't even technically, like with us, you don't even need what we're endowed with.
Right.
I
Not
mean, you
anymore.
have toys.
We can have babies on our own now.
It's crazy.
We don't need
Crazy.
nothing from no one.
So
You better watch out. No, I'm just
Wonder
joking.
Woman. Men are intimidated by powerful women. Is that thumbs up or thumbs down?
It's still true.
Yeah, so thumbs up. Men are not all men.
Not all, but they're
Many.
out there.
Many men. I should have probably said on that. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Women support women enough.
No.
Yeah.
Thumbs down.
Room for improvement.
It's getting better though. I mean, there's a lot of movements right now, specifically, even like in our own community. There's a couple really big players that are really working for women-owned business exposure, lifting up women in what they're doing. I mean, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Have you heard of the UN Women?
No.
United Nations Women describes its mission as advancing women's rights, gender equality, and empowerment globally,
Okay.
while also noting current platforms and activism are part of newer generations of feminist action. And so they, at their core, I read up on them in a little bit, and I'm normally not a big UN fan.
Yeah.
I don't think that they do what they were designed to do, but this seemed like a really good part of it was a branch.
Oh,
It's
cool.
a branch of the UN.
Yeah.
Okay. So thumbs up or thumbs down. Motherhood makes women stronger leaders.
Can I do a sideways thumb? Because I think
Sideways?
some women
Yeah,
step into
explain
that
it.
role and they can become a very powerful, more powerful leader. And I think some
Mhm.
women fall into chaos and they're not the leader.
So motherhood in and of itself doesn't necessarily
I mean, does
make women a stronger leader.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think that. I think it gives you other skill sets
Right.
that then, depending on what you do with it. But
Okay.
I don't think just being a mom makes you a better leader or a
Thumbs up,
stronger leader.
thumbs up or thumbs down. Feminism is misunderstood.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up, it
Even
is.
I'm misunderstood about what feminism really is anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do I call myself a feminist? No. But do I believe in equal rights and all of that? Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Softness, thumbs up or thumbs down. Softness and strength can exist together.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up or thumbs down. Social media has helped women more than hurt them.
Wow, that's
Good
a
one. That's a good
yeah,
one, huh?
that's pretty broad. I want to say thumbs up, but I feel mixed emotions.
You feel the same way I do.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't think social media.
I
has
don't know
helped
that
women,
it's helped at all. It's kind of like kept
Especially-
forward the same things that have always been.
especially young girls.
Yeah.
Because a couple things, like first of all, I think like when we're growing up, we compare. It's natural.
It's natural. That's what we do.
We're always going to compare. We're going to try to emulate other people and things like that. So, but with the girls, it seems like, I don't know. Again, I don't know how I'm going to sound here, but I'm going to say we used to get together early before school to make fun of each other. And we would laugh and just, we thought it was great and we didn't get our feelings hurt. Now you put a bunch of girls together and you can't do that like we can.
We
right?
take it too personally.
Yeah. And so that being said, on the social media, now taking that comparative analysis, Now you're always comparing yourself to the influencer or
Right.
something. Then you go to school and you're not as popular as the other girl. And
Well,
things
and
like
now
that.
it's like the commercialism that comes from it too. It's just
Right.
shaping these consumers where they don't even know why they want the Lululemon. They just know
Yeah.
they got to have it. And
And so I
it's
don't think,
perpetuating
I
a
don't
lot of the
think it's-
old
I don't-
things that were
Yeah.
you had to like really seek it out before, you know,
Yeah.
like a magazine or something like that, or
Yeah.
it was like on a personal level, you would compare with like the gal in your class that was, you know, whatever. But now you're comparing yourself with the hundreds of thousands of people on these platforms. With
Right.
that's all fake anyway.
Yeah.
Too,
Or,
you know,
or think about this. Let's say you're in a local community back in the day, you know, before the internet, social media and stuff like that. And let's say somebody messed up somehow. Maybe they're the town slut.
yeah, it
or
died there
whatever,
usually, right? Like
or-
it wouldn't go that far, but
now it goes.
You're marred
it
for
could be
life.
all over the world.
yeah,
You know, for something like that, and that could ruin somebody's life.
absolutely.
So that's where I lean. That it's probably hurt.
Well,
women
I think these
more than it's
platforms,
helped
yeah,
them,
they're.
in a general sense.
I would agree with you on that.
Okay, last one. Thumbs up or thumbs down? A powerful woman should never have to shrink herself.
Thumbs up.
See, I don't know about that.
Why shouldn't
So,
shrink
'cause
for no one?
Because I think the same. Let's say a powerful man. So let's do the
Yeah, yeah.
juxtaposition. A powerful man, I think, should also be able to shrink when
But for what?
Well, for never thinking that you're better than somebody else. Like you should be able to decide in any moment, I'm going to shrink. I'm going to
I get what you're
I'm
saying.
going to take my ego.
No,
and
let
my
them have the floor. Let them do the
Yes,
thing.
yeah.
I think that
Yeah.
I was thinking about it differently than you.
Because the key word is never. A powerful woman should never have to shrink herself. And I guess that, you know,
Well, the
during
shrink yourself thing, it's
yeah.
more like as a person in a powerful position, are you adaptable
Mhm.
to your
guess
audience?
That's the word I'm looking for, I guess.
Because can you put yourself aside to give someone else the platform?
Right.
Then I think yes, we should.
Yeah.
That's just like operation.
Now,
with
if it's a power play on the other side of this powerful woman, now screw that.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? If somebody's trying to make her,
be less than or something.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
yes,
That is a no. But should
when
people have the
chosen-
grace
Yes,
to
yes.
be able to like
Yeah,
entertain people or like, you know, what
Little
I mean by that?
humility.
Yes, there. Thank you.
yeah, little humility.
Yes, I like that. I'm
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah.
And I think that people who are in real positions like
Real leaders,
yeah, like that's, you know, we're
not bosses, a real leader.
correct.
Yeah.
That's
There's a
true
difference.
leadership.
There's a difference. Okay, so winding down here. So got about 10 minutes. So this last block here, so we have matters of facts, and then also I'll leave with some tools that
Cool.
we'll talk about. So how to build real power without burning out. So some grounded points here. These are matters of fact. So if you don't agree with them, let me know and then we'll talk about it.
Okay.
Okay, so this first one, matter of fact, women have made major gains in voting rights, education, workforce participation, leadership, and earnings over the last century.
Yeah.
So now I also read the statistic that for the first time, it was like between 1980 and 2024, you know how there was the wage gap? Like you guys are finally growing faster
Oh, great.
than it just being stagnant.
Yeah.
But the males have slowed down. So you guys have,
They've hit the plateau
Yeah,
and we're
so-
going up still.
yep,
Okay.
exactly. Matter of fact, gaps remain in pay,
hmm
leadership representation, and expectations at work and home,
True.
right? So we still have some of those traditional hurdles.
Yeah.
You know, pick up a broom, guys.
Well, and some of that traditional hurdle too just comes with like the person who like has the child.
Right. Exactly.
Because like you have to be there for the first year if you're breastfeeding,
Hey,
or you know what I mean? Like there's
Raising
certain
a kid ain't easy.
changes
you know,
everything.
you know. Okay, matters of fact. The Pew reports that the U.S. pay gap. Oh, here we go. The gender pay gap has remained relatively flat over the past 2 decades, with women earning 85% of what men earned in 2024 by median hourly earnings, which
Not
it
great.
used to be. Well, the 85%, but it used
It's
to be
better
like
than-
50.
yeah,
it
it's
used to be
better.
like half. And so, to the point I made, it's getting better. Yes.
Yeah.
So BLS reports women's inflation adjusted earnings increased more than men's across education levels from 79 to 24. That's what I was talking about.
Okay.
But women and men remain distributed differently across occupations,
hmm
which again, that makes sense to me.
Yeah, me
so
too.
if it's something that, like firefighting,
Yeah.
even police work and
Lineman,
stuff like that,
being a lineman.
stuff like that, things that are more physically demanding,
Yeah.
would make sense that there's going to be a higher percentage of males. Okay, so now the Girl Power Toolkit.
And vice versa, right? Like
Oh, yeah,
daycare or
Yep.
whatever.
absolutely.
Mhm.
So Girl Power Toolkit. So we want to give our listeners some practical takeaways. So the tool number 1. Okay, so define your power.
Yeah, stand in your power.
Yeah, where do I lead best? You talked about this.
Mhm.
Where do I lead best? Is it at home or is it at work? Do I work best with relationships, with my community? Am I a creative person? Like find out.
Yeah,
Talk
what
to
do you
your inner
really
voice.
care about?
Yes,
And then get empowered in that.
a key question is like, if money were not a concern, what would I like to do? Like if I didn't have to worry about money,
Right.
what would I like to do? How would I spend my time? And then once you identify that, or maybe get a small list of them,
Mhm.
then explore, how can I make money?
Yeah.
while
What do
I'm
I even like to do?
while I'm doing these things?
And then
So,
how do I make that into something that can serve me?
Yep. So define your power.
Mhm.
Where do you lead the best? Tool number 2, stop apologizing for your competence.
Or anything.
Use clarity instead of over explaining, right? Here's what I recommend would be an example. Here's what I need. Here's my boundary. Doing things like that. Use clarity instead of over
Clear
explaining.
communication.
Clear communication, right?
Clear and concise.
Now, this
Don't be
is-
afraid to use your words.
This is important, right? This is huge. As I was looking at this list, this may be the most important batch here. Tool number 3 is build your support system.
Yes.
Nobody ever succeeds by themselves.
Never.
You always need somebody else
Yep.
on your team, somebody to collaborate with,
Someone to call, someone to cry the
suppliers,
tear with.
vendors.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
all of it.
Establish, identify mentors, your friends. Now, those aren't always the best. I kind of try to go outside
Yeah.
of my friends unless I'm
Well,
like,
look at
just
your network.
visiting with them.
Look at your
you know?
network. And what I mean by that is like, who do you know? Who have you known?
Right.
Who do you want to know?
Mhm.
How can you be connected with those people? And how does all of that connection filter down into who you can surround yourself with, who's going to help you reach the goal?
And that's like, so your friends, partners, childcare,
Mhm.
help, professional network.
House cleaner. God bless my sweet cleaning woman, Lindsay. I love her.
Yeah. And then here's the last bullet here, maybe the most important one for your support system is surround yourself with people who tell you the truth,
Yeah.
right? Because you have to be able to trust that they're not saying this to you to be mean, that they're saying this to you because what's that old saying that I need somebody to not tell me what I want to hear. I need somebody to tell me what I need to.
hmm
And that can, of course, be a little bit subjective sometimes.
Well, and when you're taking on a role or a position or wanting to do something, whether it's like starting your own new business or just re-owning your home and what you're doing there,
Mhm.
like you have to remember, you can't take it personally. If you're asking for feedback,
Yeah,
you have to be ready for the feedback.
right.
And so we have to sometimes remove some of the emotion when we're trying to get down to the biz, right?
Yeah.
Because like we can all get caught up in emotions, boy, girl, whatever. Women more so, I think, because again, we have that empathy thing about us, right? And so
Yeah.
it's like something triggers something else, and now we're feeling and when you're trying to be decisive and make moves and have something happen and have people support that, you can't just be emotion driven. You have to be able to take in all of the information and
Yeah.
digest it objectively.
And it's not easy.
And then if you feel something about it, cool. Don't like not acknowledge it. But you can't lead from there in a building stage
right.
of anything.
This is true. This is true. Tool number 4, protect your energy. Not every battle is yours. Not every comment deserves a response.
Boom. That's really good advice in life, period.
Tool number 5, bring someone with you. Real power multiplies. So, for example, mentor Shirley may want to mentor a younger woman
Yep.
that's just getting into real estate, right? So
Doing it right now.
So when the point is when you are succeeding, bring somebody else with you.
Yes.
So I have that pool. It's just like, again, that's why I coached for 17 years.
Yeah.
Because if it weren't for that sport, my love for that sport and my pursuit of being as good as I could be, never would have met my ex-wife, 4 kids,
Right.
8 grandkids, and all the butterfly effects, that happens.
Well, and when you
So
bring people with you when you're doing good
bring
things,
someone with you.
it only leads to more good things usually.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's like a beautiful thing. That's like the whole let's lift everybody up and help everybody. If you're a pro at something, you should share your knowledge with the next people.
That's right. And that's the next bullet point is encourage a girl, right? So we're talking about girl power today. So encourage, because again, I can only imagine what it's like to be a woman. Trying to do that too often because then I start feeling weird. But encourage a girl. It's not the easiest world, for them to live in, even today with all the advancements that women have went through.
Right.
Tool number 5, bring someone with you, refer another woman, and give them credit publicly.
Yeah. That's
So
huge.
that's important.
That's actually a big thing
It is.
because that doesn't happen quite often enough.
Nope,
Like you'll bring someone with you, but it's like, oh yeah, that's whatever.
It's kind of like the percentage of people that actually give people a good review,
Right.
right? To take the time, to take the couple minutes it takes to
Yeah.
get on Google, give them a nice, thing or something like that. You literally people have to get that email that says, would you please?
Oh no,
click
you have to
here?"
ask. I do it all the time.
Yeah. But for them to voluntarily do it. So give credit publicly.
Well, and there's power in that when you're lifting up other people on a public platform,
Mhm.
then more people in your network are listening to that. And now the exposure is on the new person, right? And that's such a cool thing. That's an
Yeah.
awesome way to be, to
Yeah.
help others to get there.
And because if your group trusts you and you're discerning endorsements anytime that it comes up, then they're going to go, oh, she wouldn't bring this person up unless they're kind of a
Right.
big deal and and they're worthy. Okay, so last thoughts here, Shirley. Let me take you down these and you respond to them. What do you want young girls to understand earlier than you did?
It's okay to be yourself and be girly and feel all the feels and do all the things and also want to be a boss ass bitch.
I love it. Now, what do you want women your age to stop apologizing for?
Wow. That's big. I think stop being sorry about wanting to do something.
Mhm.
Like just do it. Don't say sorry. Do it.
Don't let them squash your dream.
Don't let them squash you.
What do you want men that may be listening to this episode to understand? What do you want men listening to understand?
We are complicated, but we're pretty easy in the long run. It's like, talk to us, give us some soft feels and a smooch.
Yeah.
And it goes a long way to just like communicate openly
Yeah.
and be accepting of the information. Like you said, don't try to trash a dream. Don't say, oh, you're too emotional. Don't say, don't feel that or something.
Right.
Let us be like we let you be.
Yeah.
And then together we'll find the path.
Yeah. Yeah. That's one thing I learned not to say. You shouldn't be feeling that way.
Yeah, right? Exactly.
All right. Last one. What does girl power mean in one sentence?
Owning your power as a woman and who you are and what you are and being okay with it.
I like it. I like it. Can you think of anything else that you would like to add to your first rodeo with What's the Matter?
Well, first, this was awesome. Thank you so much for having me. I absolutely love being here. I think this topic is so interesting that we could come back to it, Grady. We could talk about it again in a whole nother realm, in another way, right? Another perspective even.
Yeah.
And I think it's interesting that you're bringing something like this to the forefront because it's a hard topic. It's a hard topic where there could be a lot of feels in many ways, right? Like with what we're saying and even our own belief systems.
I ain't scared.
Yeah, me neither.
As long as it's politics.
And that's what I
or
think is
religion.
cool. I'm so happy we did it. So thank you.
No problem. No problem. All right. You guys, well, thank you for listening to episode 56 of What's the Matter podcast show. Today we talked about girl power, not as a slogan, but as a journey from permission to that power. We looked at the long road from the suffrage movement to feminism to modern platforms women use today. And we got real. We did. We got real about motherhood, business, confidence, partnership, ambition, and what it means for women to lead without shrinking themselves. Hey, a huge thank you to Ms. Shirley Larkins for joining me today, bringing her experience, energy, and perspective to the studio. A big thank you to our sponsor, Bazaz, and the creator and producer of the show, Big Bongo Productions. Coming up soon, we're going to circle back to reschedule What's the Matter with Entertainment with Jared Araguini. Do you know Jared? No? You don't know
No.
Jared? Yeah. Chamber of Commerce? No? You're going to meet
No.
him one of these days. Jam Entertainment. So we're going to talk about the challenges of promoters and people behind the scenes and what they go through and the negotiations and the no's and
Oh,
the yeses
boy.
and the stress to make sure that when it's showtime, the show goes on. So until then, be vigilant, be kind, and always remember that what you say matters. This is the G-Man without Kel for the first time, but here was Shirley for Please Call Me Shirley.
Please do call me Shirley.